Blake Lively and Taylor Swift's friendship is over, and it is pretty crazy to me that this is the straw that broke the camel's back. According to new reports, Taylor Swift is withdrawing from Blake Lively amid the latter's legal battle with her It Ends With Us castmate Justin Baldoni. The pop diva feels Lively used her as an intimidation tactic in a lawsuit.
Taylor's like, I'm out. It's like, you know what I mean?
What are your thoughts on that, actually? Do you think that really happened? Like, that Taylor is really putting some distance there?
I definitely do, yeah.
You do?
I absolutely do. Going off, like, Taylor's songs in the past and Bad Blood and all that kind of stuff, like,
Taylor Swift is allegedly taking a step back from her friendship with Blake Lively because of this whole Baldoni-Lively drama. That is according to the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail is saying that Taylor's taking a step back from her friendship with Blake after feeling like she was used as an intimidation tactic by the actress in a lawsuit she never wanted to be embroiled in.
Oh my God! You guys! Blake Lively is absolutely losing it right now because her bestie Taylor Swift, the dragon to her Khaleesi, has finally had enough and cut her off completely. Can you believe it? Blake and Ryan Reynolds have been strutting around Hollywood like they own the place, thinking the entire industry was firmly in their corner and that they could just throw money and influence around to make their problems disappear. But guess what? The tides are turning, honey. More and more celebrities are starting to see through their facade and are finally speaking up. Word has it that Taylor Swift is furious that Blake has been using her name to intimidate people behind the scenes, and she is beyond fed up with Blake treating her like some pawn in her bullying games. And that's not even the juicy part. Apparently, tons of other A-listers have had absolutely horrible experiences working with Blake and Ryan. Taylor is just one name on a long list of stars who think Blake is entitled, nasty, and completely narcissistic. So is Hollywood finally turning against the golden couple? And what does all of this drama have to do with their case against Justin Baldoni? Stay tuned because this tea is piping hot. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds must be absolutely shaking right now because they messed around and now they're finding out the hard way that not everyone wants to be dragged into their petty games to bully and harass hardworking people. The power couple has faced some serious backlash lately about their reaction to this whole legal mess, and rumor has it that many celebrities in their inner circle are straight up cutting them off because nobody wants to be associated with them when everything comes crashing down. Can you imagine losing your best friend of 10 years all because you allegedly started drama because you couldn't kick a movie director off his own project? That's right, Taylor Swift isn't just distancing herself from Blake, she's cutting her off completely.
The U.S. Sun reported that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were still going to the Super Bowl with Taylor Swift despite all of the legal drama. Daily Mail just reported Blake is not attending the Super Bowl with Taylor. Blake has not left the house since this started practically. Taylor wants nothing to do with this trial and court case. That is according to a Daily Mail source. Interesting because last year when Blake joined Taylor at the Super Bowl, the Chiefs did win.
Let me give you the full tea on their friendship. Blake and Taylor have been thick as thieves since 2015. They started hanging out right after they met and were constantly posting adorable pics together at each other's events and supporting all of each other's big moments. Taylor absolutely adored Blake's kids, as you should with your bestie's children. In 2017, Taylor even used Blake's daughter James's voice in the intro to her song, Gorgeous. How sweet is that? Then in 2020, she went even further by name-dropping all three of Blake's daughters, James, Inez, and Betty, in her song, Betty. Talk about friendship goals. Blake and Taylor haven't just been friends, they've been business partners too. Blake directed Taylor's I Bet You Think About Me music video, which was actually nominated for Music Video of the Year at the 56th Annual CMA Awards in 2022. And last year, when Deadpool and Wolverine hit theaters, Taylor finally revealed the huge news that she was the godmother to Blake and Ryan's children. In an Instagram post promoting the film, Taylor called Ryan one of her best friends and jokingly referred to him as Wade Wilson, aka my godkid's sperm donor. Ryan later confirmed this in an interview with Deadline, saying, "Yeah, that is kind of it. She is the godparent to my daughters. That was very sweet. Not just sweet, that was like, you could probably quantify a box office based on Taylor just doing something like that." So they've had this absolutely rock-solid friendship for 10 years in Hollywood, where everyone is fake and sees relationships as career stepping stones. It seemed like they had something truly genuine and special. But everything changed when Taylor Swift got dragged into Blake Lively's messy legal drama with Justin Baldoni.
Taylor Swift is no longer communicating with Blake Lively, and I think she's being a bad friend. An inside source with Taylor Swift's team, aka Leslie Sloan or someone, is very specifically and purposely spreading the word to the Daily Mail and everyone else that Taylor is no longer communicating with Blake Lively, and in fact, she doesn't know if her friendship can bounce back, and she's reevaluating all of her friendships. Blake invited her to SNL 50, and she even said no to that. But honestly, Kim Kardashian was there. Why would she do that? Here's why I think she's being a bad friend. She's Blake Lively's godmother to her children. She has known Blake Lively for 10 plus years. She knows who this girl is. She was part of And It Ends With Us every step of the way, from the music choices to probably Blake texting her back and forth, to even giving the go-ahead for casting Isabella, which, by the way, Justin did confirm was true. And if her best friend is saying that she was SA'd, she should be supporting her. Period. Her friend believes it's true. She should be supporting her and believing her. And you know what? At the very least, not be planting these stories. Now, I don't think Blake Lively has said anything that she didn't think that Taylor would be okay with, especially with her involvement in the film. Her involvement has been weaved throughout the film. I don't think Blake would ever risk her friendship. I'm sure she thought that Taylor was on board, and she probably was. And then this exploded, and Taylor was like, wait a minute, I don't want this bad press. We're not gonna be talking now. So anyway, whether you believe Blake or not,
So here's the deal with what went down. Justin hired Blake as the star actress for his movie, It Ends With Us. But apparently Blake wasn't content just being in front of the camera. She started trying to steal his job by completely rewriting the script, forcing her way into the casting process for other actors, and attempting to change literally everything from the soundtrack to the costumes. And when Justin didn't immediately bow down to her demands, Blake allegedly reminded him that she had all these powerful people backing her up, like her husband Ryan Reynolds and her bestie Taylor Swift. The wildest part? Her intimidation tactics actually worked. Justin and his entire crew got banished to the basement during the press tour and movie premiere, while Blake and Ryan hogged all the spotlight. So what exactly was Taylor Swift's role in all this mess? Buckle up, because this is where it gets juicy. Blake basically turned her role in the movie into a group project where both Taylor and Ryan could make whatever changes they wanted to the script, and poor Justin just had to accept it. It all started with the casting for the role of young Lily Bloom. Taylor and Blake apparently pushed hard for Isabella Ferrar to get that role. It was super important to them to find someone who looked exactly like Blake but could also act well. Isabella had no idea about any of this at the time. She only found out later that Taylor had influenced her being cast as young Lily Bloom. Good for her, I guess. But here's the real reason they wanted to handpick that actress. They needed someone who would be their puppet and never dare to disagree with anything they said. The manipulation is real, y'all.
When you have somebody as beloved and as recognizable as Blake, the only way it can really work is if you have somebody that resembles her. So we did a TikTok search. We looked through thousands of women and tapes, and we had lookalikes submit who had never acted before. And then I found Isabella. Our wonderful casting director sent me her tape, and I watched it. And I remember asking, did she put that mole there in that place? And if you look at her at the right angle, it's a spitting image. More than just the resemblance, she is a phenomenal actress. And this was her first film.
She told me Taylor Swift helped her get the role, like signed off on her audition.
I had brought in, I was casting, and I had actually brought in and showed her casting tape to Blake and Taylor. And and they were both like, yes, her. And that's a true story.
At some point, Blake even allegedly threatened to make Taylor withdraw her clearance for them to use her song My Tears Ricochet for the film.
When it came time to put the song in the movie, it was actually Sony that put it in the trailer, and we worked really closely on the trailer and went back and forth, and we were so proud of the trailer before we released it, and we hoped people liked it, and it was a big success, which was great.
People loved it. By people, I mean me. It was so perfectly played in the movie, too.
Yeah, but when the trailer came out, we were like, oh, no, we have to put it in the movie. But this was actually, it's quite a small budget movie.
Oh, you added the song after the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big, beautiful summer movie, but it's actually like a pretty intimate movie. So we never thought, like, our eyeballs were not that big to think that we could, put one of her songs in the movie. And it had to be. And there was a moment in the movie that just, it was missing this like emotional gravitas, and like as soon as we put that song in, it was just like, I was like, that's the spot, because it's the moment in her life where something happens, and that thing that happens, whatever decision she makes, is going to change the course of her life. So while she's thinking about that, you needed something that was just had so much weight and so much gravity and so much significance, that songs, I mean, nothing would have done it like that.
In her updated complaint against...
At some point, Blake allegedly went so far as to threaten Justin that she would make Taylor withdraw her permission for them to use her song My Tears Ricochet in the film. Can you imagine using your bestie's music as a weapon like that?
Blake Lively and Taylor Swift's friendship is over. And it is pretty crazy to me that this is the straw that broke the camel's back. According to new reports, Taylor Swift is withdrawing from Blake Lively amid the latter's legal battle with her It Ends With Us castmate Justin Baldoni. The pop diva feels Lively used her as an intimidation tactic in a lawsuit, despite her unwillingness to be embroiled in it. This honestly makes me feel that the two were just a PR friendship, because I don't know what type of friends would withdraw from a friendship when the going gets tough for one individual. As you guys may know, Lively compared herself to a Game of Thrones character Khaleesi in a series of text messages in which she appeared to threaten Baldoni, referring to her husband and Swift as her dragons. That apparently was the last straw for Taylor Swift, because she felt that she was being talked about as a possession, that she was some kind of a pet. And yeah, it's not cool, that's for sure. But honestly, if I was in a fight with somebody or in a disagreement, I would probably refer to my girlfriends in the same way. My girlfriends are my protectors. Blake Lively felt that Taylor Swift was her protector.
The updated complaint against Justin revealed that Blake claims she had witnesses, other actors from It Ends With Us, who could back up her story. She named Jenny Slate and Isabella Ferrar as her witnesses. Supposedly, Jenny Slate had filed an HR complaint against Justin and his business partner Jamie Heath after having an uncomfortable interaction with them. But here's the kicker. Jenny's issue had absolutely nothing to do with what Blake is accusing Justin of. To be clear, Blake has accused Justin of workplace making unwanted comments toward her and creating a smear campaign against her in the media. But Jenny's alleged complaint? It was about her being uncomfortable with a pad she had rented for $155,000. Apparently, she told Jamie Heath she didn't like the pad, but since she'd already spent so much money, she couldn't move. Jamie supposedly told her not to worry because Wayfair would reimburse her, but Jenny didn't like his tone when he said it. I mean, what does that have to do with Blake's serious allegations against Justin? It makes no sense. As for Isabella Ferrar, it looks like Blake just expected her to fall in line with whatever she wanted. No questions asked. Get this. Blake claimed Isabella had a negative experience on set because of Justin, but it turns out Isabella actually had such a great time working with him that she sent him a heartfelt text message after they finished filming, thanking him for creating a safe space for her. In the message, Isabella wrote, "Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Thank you for being a great director and being so wonderful to work with already." She also said, "Thank you so much for an incredible experience on my first film. I still can't shake the feeling of it all because it truly was life-changing for me. You are such a wonderful, smart, and sincere director, and you created such a comfortable, safe space for me to feel like I could fully step into this role. I couldn't have asked for a more welcoming environment. It will stay with me for the rest of my life." I mean, we could argue that Isabella was just trying to secure her future in Hollywood since this was her first acting role, and she didn't want to cause problems. But if she truly had such a terrible experience as Blake wants us to believe, would she really be this enthusiastic in thanking Justin? And would she specifically mention that he created a safe space for her? I don't think so. But Blake didn't care about any of that. She just wanted to drag everyone down with her, whether they wanted to come along or not. In fact, rumors were circulating that Jenny Slate and Isabella Ferrar never even gave Blake permission to use their names for her agenda. Speaking of which, Taylor was apparently livid when she found out Blake had been using her name to bully Justin off his own project. In his lawsuit, Justin claimed that Taylor pressured him into accepting changes Blake made to the script without consulting him. Remember that iconic rooftop scene that fans of the book absolutely adore? Apparently, Blake asked if she could take a shot at writing it, but Justin was hesitant to let an actor, rather than a professional union screenwriter, rewrite such a crucial scene. Against his better judgment, he eventually allowed Blake to rewrite it, and that's when things went downhill fast. Blake did her thing, but Justin wasn't impressed. Still, he politely thanked her for her passion and said he would try to incorporate some of her contributions. Blake was furious that Justin didn't immediately fall at her feet praising her brilliant writing, so she sent him this lengthy text essentially saying he had to use her version of the script, or else. In the text, Blake referenced an earlier meeting where she summoned Justin to her New York penthouse, and Ryan ambushed him, enthusiastically praising Blake's contribution. During that meeting, Taylor Swift just happened to walk in and also started gushing about Blake's work. Justin clearly understood what was happening. He needed to do what Blake wanted, or else. Blake then turned up the pressure by emphasizing her relationship with Ryan and Taylor, making it crystal clear that they wouldn't allow her to be overlooked. She actually called herself Khaleesi and said Ryan and Taylor were her dragons. Like, seriously? Think about it. What does it mean when you make suggestions on someone else's job, they politely decline, and then you tell them you have powerful friends who are like fire-breathing dragons? I'll let you connect those dots. Looking back, fans have noticed that Taylor has actually been distancing herself from It Ends With Us from the very beginning. Think about it. Taylor has promoted almost every project Blake and Ryan have been involved with for years. She had nothing but praise for Deadpool and Blink Twice, but when it came to It Ends With Us, complete radio silence. This led fans to suspect there was already tension behind the scenes, and Taylor wanted nothing to do with it. But it goes way deeper than that. Taylor is apparently ready to step back from her friendship with Blake after feeling used as an intimidation tactic in Blake's lawsuit. According to an insider, Blake describing Taylor as her dragon was the absolute last straw for her. The insider revealed, for the time being, she is taking a step back from Blake because she doesn't want to get tangled in this more than she already has, which is far more than she ever needed to be. Her friends also think that Blake's "I'm Khaleesi" and "Like her, I happen to have dragons" text to Justin was uncool and unnecessary because she was essentially used as an intimidation tactic. She was referred to as some kind of pet or possession. The insider added, Taylor shouldn't even be involved in this at all. She was only going over to visit Blake and Ryan with the understanding that the meeting would be over. Another source spilled that Taylor is worried about how this is affecting her own image. Taylor has politely backed away from it all. She is conscious of her own image and hates that she was even mentioned. Just imagine your own best friend staying away from you like you've caught the plague because she doesn't want to get caught up in your drama. Many people feel like Taylor wouldn't be trying so hard to distance herself if she truly believed Blake and Ryan were in distress over what Blake supposedly experienced. The fact that she still hasn't publicly supported Blake speaks volumes about what's really happening behind closed doors.
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
And it's not just Taylor who feels this way. Word on the street is that many Hollywood elites are giving Blake and Ryan major side-eye because they seem to be making light of the whole situation, especially after that cringe-worthy joke Ryan made during the SNL 50th anniversary special, having the entire Hollywood elite and their so-called powerful friends turn against them in the middle of this legal nightmare is a plot twist that Blake and Ryan definitely didn't see coming. But apparently, they're the only ones who are shocked by this turn of events. One person commented, "These people don't have real friends, and they don't know how to be friends themselves. You are the company you keep, shallow people with shallow connections." Another person said, "Why is Taylor getting hated on for setting boundaries with friends? I ditch friends too if they constantly drag me into their drama and mess. I'm not defending her, I know nothing of her background, but..." So now I want to know your thoughts. Do you think Blake deserves to get dumped by Taylor for dragging her into this mess? Or do you think Taylor is betraying Blake by not standing by her side during this difficult time? Drop a comment down below, and while you're here, check out this next video. Check out this next video.